Hi everybody, Michelle here from Style Maker Fabrics, and we're super excited to kick off spring and a new season of sewing. We've got all your favorite spring fabrics, linens and rayons and knits and denims. You name it, we've got it in all the great spring colors. This is my second time doing our biannual swatch review video. So just a couple of reminders. I've got a little bit bigger swatches. The SKU is going to show up on the screen, and I'll pop a picture up of some of the larger prints to give you a better idea of what it looks like. Sometimes the swatch is a little hard to represent the larger scale prints. I think that's about it. Oh, down in the caption, there's a link to the full list of fabrics. As I'm going through them, they'll be in the same order. You can either print that out or have it on the computer and take notes. It's got that SKU number, the name of the fabric, and a little bit about it. You can also just screenshot some of your favorites to remember those numbers, and then you can just search those on our website. I think that's about it. So grab your pen and paper and maybe a favorite beverage and settle in as we go through all the new swatches. Thanks for joining us. We've got 90 fabrics to get through, so let's get started. Starting off in the kind of pale pinks. This is a linen and cotton blend. We're seeing a lot more linen blends right now just because the linen prices have gotten so high. So a lot of our suppliers are doing more blends to try to keep the cost a little bit more affordable. You also get kind of the best of both worlds. So this is a linen and cotton, so it's a bit softer with that cotton content, kind of gets rid of a bit of the scratchiness that linen sometimes can have. So, and a really pretty kind of variegated stripe, all different widths. Just a really nice kind of pale pinks and naturals would kind of mix and match really well with a bunch of different colors. It's got a bit of drape, also some nice, some nice structure, but still really soft. Next one is a rayon crepe. So if you look close, you can kind of see it's got that kind of pebbly, crepey texture to it, but really pretty kind of soft, delicate, ditzy floral, bit of an abstract kind of pattern. And it's got, again, those mauves and light pinks, a little bit of yellow, and some little darker shades of rose as well. Nice drape to it. Would be a really pretty spring dress. Maybe pair it with like a darker color pink cardigan or something would be really nice. Up next, we've got this really nice organic cotton shirting. It's a bit heavier. It's kind of got a little bit of a texture to it, kind of a creepy texture. It kind of reminds me, it's got that well-worn in washed feel. I think they've washed it in like an enzyme wash to really soften it up. It reminds me, not in a bad way, of like a flour sack towel, like that kind of softness. Really lovely. A little bit heavier, you can kind of see the body to it. Comes in a few different colors. This is kind of the rosy pink with a soft kind of vanilla white. So there's a few different colors, and then it also comes in a gingham as well, and we'll see that a bit later. So, but I would definitely do kind of shirts or shirt dresses. You could even do, if you want to do like a striped pant, or I think a matching set would be really cute too, like woven cami or tank top and pants or shorts, and then you could mix and match those pieces with others. Would be really fun. So you can see It does have a bit of drape, but quite a bit of structure to it. It is heavier than a traditional kind of shirting. This spring we have a lot of bamboo or rayon jersey knits for some reason. Kind of cycles in and out of kind of what we see the most of, and for some reason right now it's rayon jerseys. So you can see quite a bit more drape to it. This one's bamboo and spandex, lots of stretch. We always, for rayon jerseys, try to get a bit heavier weight, just because they can end up being a little bit lighter. So this is a really pretty soft pink. And we've got a few different colors and then some prints as well. This actually pairs really well with the next fabric. This sweater knit would be a really cute kind of matching set, like a cami and a cardigan, something like that. Just really sweet together. So this is the first of our 2 new spring sweater knits. And let me just double check. The content on these guys is rayon, poly, and nylon. So both of the sweater knits are the same content, but they have a slightly different kind of knit to them, kind of texture to them. So if you look close, this one, it's kind of little groupings of ribs. So each of these kind of wider bands is 4 tiny little rib knits. It's got a bit of thickness to it, super, super soft, like silky soft. Yeah, good stretch to it. But yeah, really nice sweater knit for like a classic cardigan. It comes in a few spring colors and then also classic black as well. So great kind of layering piece to go with any number of tops for spring. Here's one of those printed bamboo jersey knits. So it's the same base as that solid that we had just a bit ago, but this is kind of a cool mosaic leaf print. I like how it kind of combines a bunch of different kind of little brush strokes to make these kind of cool abstract leaves. So same base, so good, nice and stretchy, has some nice drape to it. So this is the first of one of the prints, and there is a couple other colors of this as well. There's a blue and a green also. Next one, the cotton jerseys, they always like to curl on me a little bit. So the more I handle them, the more they want to kind of curl up. But all of our cotton jerseys, we try to keep about the same weight. So if you're familiar with our mid-weight cotton jersey solid, we try to have all the prints be about that same weight. So cotton and spandex, good stretch and recovery. And this is just a really fun, I think they're all magnolias or kind of a magnolia floral. You've got the blues and the pinks, and then this nice creamy one with some lighter pinks and purples in the background, which is really fun. So good piece to kind of mix with a lot of different things in your spring wardrobe. Shirtings are especially popular this season. We've been seeing tons of them. Sorry about the threads. So this one's kind of unusual. We have the more traditional shirtings, but this one kind of has a seersucker texture to it. So it's got some little, you can kind of see the kind of wavy texture a bit to it. And that's woven into this shirting. So kind of your more traditional shirting weight, lighter weight. And then again, it kind of combines those kind of softer spring colors, a different pinks, some light blue, and that pop of yellow. Kind of seeing a little bit of a trend, the pink, blue, and a little bit of yellow. This is a really cute little ditzy floral rayon woven, just kind of a basic rayon challis, has some nice drape to it. So really cute for like a spring blouse or dress. No texture or anything, just a kind of basic rayon woven. But yeah, I love that color combination with the little bit of gray to kind of tone it down a bit too. We've got another shirting here, more of a kind of Madras plaid, kind of that brighter colorway. This one does have a bit of stretch as well, so it's cotton and spandex. So we've got kind of brighter sapphire kind of blue, and then the bit brighter pink. And then I love it paired with this little bit of purple as well. So the stretch adds, you wouldn't have to change anything about your patterns or anything, but it would add a bit of extra comfort, like in the sleeves or the body as you're wearing it, would just have a bit more give, which is kind of nice, especially in like a more fitted piece. Heading a little bit darker pink again. This is another really pretty rayon woven. I think it's a rayon poplin. It's got a little bit tighter weave to it. Really nice drape. And I just love the kind of a little bit larger scale to the flowers. They're probably about 3-4 inches. And then we've got the darker navy background with pops of that kind of royal or cerulean blue, and then the aqua with the shades of pink and purple, which is really pretty. This is one of our new solids for this season. So we have this in a bunch of fun spring colors. This is a linen and tencel rayon blend. So you can see it's got a bit more drape to it than if it was just linen. Super soft as well, no coarseness to it really, but still has that nice linen look. You can kind of see the texture in the yarns. So this is a really pretty kind of bubblegummy bright pink. And again, we have this in some really fun bright colors for spring. I'm excited to see how this one gets made up. You could probably do kind of anything with this one. Tops, shirts, or dresses, even skirts. Really nice, not too heavy, doesn't have, a lot of texture to it, just kind of a really nice plain weave. And one of our spring collaborators is actually going to make a top and then pants out of the next fabric, which they pair really well together. So definitely check that out. So jumping into the next one, this is a cotton sateen, kind of more of a bottom weight sateen. You can see how it's got some weight to it and a bit of more body. It does have a bit of stretch to it, so it's cotton and spandex. And just a really pretty kind of painterly watercolor floral. So I'm anxious to see this one made up. It's not super heavyweight, so you could still do like a fitted, I think cotton sateen was really popular for like fit and flare dresses. Kind of a more fitted dress with the stretch is nice. Kind of more tailored pants, like a cigarette pant or something, skirts, yeah, kind of nice. Here's another linen blend. So again, this one is linen and cotton as well. Kind of a really pretty watercolor abstract floral. again, this one has a bit more kind of body to it. Very soft with that cotton. This would be a really pretty skirt, and then you could pair it with kind of a cream, or even doing like a top and you could wear it with like plain khakis or some white pants or a darker pink even. Okay, moving on to more of the corals and kind of into the reds. This is a digitally printed cotton voile. So a little bit more delicate, a little bit lighter weight. If you were going to do a dress or something in this, I would probably underline it or line it just to give it a little bit more structure. But I think for a blouse, it would be really nice. And then if you needed to, you could wear like a camisole or something underneath it, because it is a little bit on the sheer side. Not very sheer, but more sheer than like a heavier cotton. So the interesting thing about this one is the print actually runs selvage to selvage. So it would actually run this, you would want to cut your pieces going out this way. So that's kind of unique. It just is printed a different way. Wouldn't change, affect anything with the garment. You would just want to orient your pattern pieces 90 degrees from the way you would normally do that. But I think this would be really pretty as a kind of voluminous sleeve blouse or something, just to really show off the print, and the fabric would play so well with kind of that volume. Very soft, almost like silky feeling. Okay, we threw in a few of our basics. So if you've been around for a while, you know a lot of these. But this is our classic mid-weight cotton jersey that we have in a ton of different colors. So just to give you a reminder, nice stretch and recovery. This is a pretty coral color. A lot of people buy a whole bunch of different colors and have a bunch of basic tees to mix and match with different things. We'll have another solid jersey a little bit later to compare with this one. They both are kind of interchangeable for basic tees, but they just come in kind of different color palettes, and the other one is a little bit softer because it has some rayon in it. But cotton and spandex on this one, and a nice kind of weight for everything, tees, dresses, any of your kind of favorite knit pieces. So I'll set that one aside and we'll compare later. The next one is kind of a really cool, here, let me turn it around here. Really pretty French terry. So it is a lighter weight French terry. We sometimes call them like a jersey French terry, because it's kind of a cross between a heavier kind of sweatshirt French terry or sweatshirt fleece and a jersey knit. You can see the loops on the back are very tight. So you don't have a lot of thickness and weight to it. They're just a finer yarn, and they don't have a lot of big loops. But it does add a little bit more body. This is a really pretty spring floral. It's got kind of a little bit of everything, all the blues and kind of pinks and reds and oranges in a fun spring poppy. So it's got a good amount of stretch, and it would be great for like a kind of layering hoodie or a knit pullover or something like that, in kind of a whole range of spring color, which is fun. Here is another one of our basics that we've had for quite a while. This is our Brussels washer. This is a linen and rayon blend. This one is more linen than rayon, so you can see it's got some drape to it, but it does have that still linen feel to it. And this is probably goes with some of our most versatile fabrics. You could do just about anything in this, tops and dresses, skirts. But then also, I've seen a lot of people use it for like a wide leg pant or kind of overall, summer overalls. And this is a new color for us. We haven't had this poppy color, but it just seemed kind of fitting with all the spring colors we have this year. Kind of this more orangey toned red instead of like a true, like a blue toned red or something. This one has more orange undertones. Here is another linen and rayon blend. This one does have more rayon than linen, so it is a bit softer, like compared to that Brussels that we had. Very kind of, almost has a silky feeling to it, but has a bit more weight to it with that linen. Nice drape. This is actually the same fabric base. If you've been with us for a while, I did a capsule wardrobe and had this Harlow kind of button-up shirt in a pretty colorful rayon linen blend. That's the same fabric base as this one. So it's great for like a spring topper like that, kind of a button-up shirt that you could, you know, layer over kind of any color of t-shirt for a bit of extra warmth and just for a nice outfit idea. I love this kind of, it's a digital print, so you kind of have all these colors, which is really fun. And then you could mix and match it with kind of anything, purples or blues, and then it's got that kind of poppy red as well. The next one is another kind of, I'll just turn that one around, kind of unusual fabric that we kind of always look for, printed eyelets, if they're just really fun. So this is kind of a larger scale eyelet. That all the eyelet holes are about 1/4 of an inch, and you can see kind of the little like viney leaf design. So it's been digitally printed over the top of that, giving it this cool kind of tonal floral print. So this would be a stunning like spring dress. And I would line the dress with like a coral or red cotton voile or a lightweight rayon, and then have some fun with like make the lining a bit shorter for the hem, so you kind of get some of that little peak at kind of the holes in the fabric, and then like the sleeves you wouldn't need to line, so you could kind of do little peaks of the eyelet, which would be really fun. So yeah, unusual piece. Here is another kind of unusual one. This is a rayon voile, but it has a very subtle clip dot to it. Let's see if you can see it a little bit better on the back. You can see all the little clip dots there. So again, it's just a soft clip dot rayon, and then they digitally printed over the top this really pretty kind of watercolor floral, a bit more kind of jade greens, but then it's also got that darker plum mixed in, which is really fun. I like kind of rayon clip dots are very subtle. You hardly feel the little bumps, where sometimes on cotton clip dots they can be, you know, you can really feel them. So this is just kind of a more subtle, kind of cool texture to it. But again, a little bit lighter weight because it is a voile, so you probably would want to line like a bodice or something, but again, play with having the little bit more sheer parts show. This one actually would pair really well with our next fabric. This is the other sweater knit, but look how good those look together. Have a kind of more delicate blouse and then this kind of chunkier cable or chunkier stitched sweater knit with it. Kind of a fun combination. Okay, so this is our other spring sweater knit. So it's the same content as that rib knit pink one that we had a bit ago. We had a similar sweater knit to this a few falls ago. We came in like a brown and a navy and I think an olive green. So this year we were able to find kind of something that was very similar in some really pretty spring colors. I just love this peach, is really nice. So you could pick which side you like better. This side is a little bit less texture, a little bit more kind of rib. You can kind of see like a chain stitch almost. And then this side looks more like a kind of seed stitch, I think, if you knit kind of that look. So you could even play with that in the same sweater, you know, have play with the different pieces, like maybe pockets in the facings. Do kind of flip it or do it all the same. This one, because of the chunkier kind of knitting, this one has a bit more body to it. It feels a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker, but very kind of silky smooth, really kind of a snuggly spring cardigan. And again, that comes in a few different colors. There's a really pretty oatmeal. I think we'll actually see that one in a little bit. There's, yeah, a pretty aqua, I think. So definitely check out the other colors as well. Okay, we've got this really cool kind of vintage or kind of mod looking floral, more abstract shapes, bigger scale again, so kind of in the 4 to 6 inch flowers. I really like this combination of the kind of corals and then the rust with the pretty lavender and orchid and then the pop of aqua as well. So another kind of a rayon woven, so nice drape to it, very soft. Yeah, really kind of a fun print. If corals and stuff are your kind of colors, the sweater knit kind of goes with all of the different corals, which is really fun. Okay, this next one is a cotton sateen shirting, so lighter weight, definitely more of a shirting weight, but then it has that really silky, satiny finish to the right side. Really kind of soft. Has a bit of drape to it, but also some structure. It's 100% cotton. And then just a really pretty combination of the kind of more fuchsias and purples, but then all the soft kind of apricots, and then kind of more of a jade green kind of. Really pretty. Next one is another kind of cotton. This one's a cotton poplin. Still very soft, a little bit smaller scale, really pretty kind of brush stroke watercolor floral. And somebody is making something up in this for our collaborations this spring as well, so definitely take a look at that on our socials. I love this one, goes a little bit a shade or so darker with the darker plums and then the teals, some darker greens, and then more kind of saturated corals is really pretty. Here's another kind of unusual piece. We don't get a lot of printed double gauze. So this one is kind of fun. Kind of a more, it's almost like somebody took white double gauze and then painted this really big scale plaid. And I love the shades of kind of pinks and corals, but then this dark teal to complement it is really kind of cool. So, and it is a kind of true double gauze. You can kind of see that you can kind of pull the layers apart. So I think this will puff up a little bit, kind of crinkle up a bit more when it gets washed. Great choice for kind of a tunic or like a Cali shirt, or you know, like some kind of button-up shirt. Would be kind of fun to pick one of the colors of to do buttons in. But I think like a tunic would be really fun for kind of spring and summer, even for like vacation as like a cover-up kind of to throw on. Kind of fun. Okay, and one more kind of explosion of spring color. This reminds me of kind of an artist's drop cloth or like testing colors or something. They're kind of big splotches of watercolor. So kind of got some darker teals and aquas, but then shades of coral and oranges and yellows. I'll kind of flip it over so you can see a bit more. So, but it's a kind of a nice fine cotton shirting, very soft. You can almost hear like the crispness to it, but still very soft, but it's got, you know, some nice structure to it, really high kind of thread count there. So very fun kind of shirt dress or something like that. Okay, shifting into kind of the yellows now. This is kind of a good transition piece. It's got a little bit of everything in the spring colors again. We've got our greens, kind of more citrons, got really pretty bright kind of tangerine-y orange, and then the fuchsias and pinks, and then pops of yellow. This is another rayon woven, nice and drapey, just really pretty. I think this is one of my favorites, I think, because it has kind of a bit of all the colors in it, just kind of really screams spring. Would be a good piece for kind of tying together like a spring capsule wardrobe or something, because, you know, you could have a whole bunch of different colors. Even like a scarf or something to pair with a bunch of other things. Next one, this one is a different knit for us as well. So this is 100% cotton interlock. So it's a bit heavier than like a traditional jersey knit. It comes in some really fun bright colors for spring. This is kind of the lemony yellow. They all have the same like wider color and then a narrow white vanilla stripe, but there's like a bright blue and a kind of tangerine-y reddy or reddish orange, and then a pretty orchid. So it is 100% organic cotton, so it doesn't have any spandex to it. So it's got some good stretch and it has good recovery, but it doesn't have that snap that like a spandex knit would have. So I would probably do something, a knit top that's a little boxier, not as fitted, just because it doesn't have that kind of snap. Like a boat neck kind of loose t-shirt or like 3/4 length sleeve would be really pretty. We've seen a lot of that like kind of wide neckline boat neck on a lot of tops and ready to wear But yeah, really fun and kind of a little bit heavier, so a little bit warmer kind of knit top than just a standard jersey, but very fun. Here is another color of that linen and tencel shirting. I just had a lot of really great yellows this spring. Usually yellow is kind of a polarizing color, but in the right shade, I just think it can be so pretty. So if yellow is kind of your color this season, for some reason, there's a lot of great ones, which is kind of exciting. So this is a really pretty solid. So I won't talk too much about it, but same linen and tencel rayon combination. Here is another linen blend. So if you're familiar with our slub texture linen solid that we have carried for a very long time, this is a very similar base fabric, and then they digitally printed over the top of it. So you can kind of see the slubby texture on the back a little bit better. And then they did this really pretty kind of abstract kind of leaf print. And again, it's kind of got a little bit of everything here, the teals, purples, yellows, pinks, and corals. And it's got that kind of natural linen color look, so kind of more of a neutral background with some of the kind of linen-y flecks in it. So yeah, another kind of cool layering piece, like a jacket that you could put over any of these colors, like a light spring kind of jacket, or it's not super heavy, so it could be just a blouse or dress, or this would be a beautiful skirt as well. And we have a few more prints on this fabric as well. Okay, next one. This is another linen blend, so linen and cotton in a very soft kind of a soft pale yellow stripe. So it's a wider stripes and then kind of little vanilla stripes in there. Very, the color is kind of really a soft pale yellow, which was really popular last spring, and I think it's going to keep going. So we've had a few of our basics now come out in this kind of really soft, buttery, almost yellow. But yeah, really pretty. Kind of in that vein, here is a rayon twill shirting. So just a little bit heavier than like a rayon challis or a rayon poplin. It does have that kind of twill weave texture to it, but same kind of drape, a little bit more body, and just it feels just a little bit heavier. Really pretty kind of painterly tulips. And then in the background, it's a more kind of latte natural color with kind of brush strokes of the pale yellow and a little bit of pink on top. I like the contrast that they did with the olive green, and then it does have, more stark black. So kind of a mix of the pastels with a little bit darker shades as well. So and here's one of our basics that we did get in kind of that pale yellow color. This is our crinkle cotton. We have it in a bazillion colors as well. And it seems like, there's always colors kind of being discontinued, but then new colors coming out. So we always have kind of a very nice range. And this spring, I think there's this one, light blue, which has been really popular. I think that will be kind of the color of the season. And then a chocolatey brown as well. So this is another kind of basic that's been well kind of washed and has that kind of worn in feel. This is another one of our very versatile fabrics, so you can use it for just about everything. Lots of people like it for like shirts and dresses, but this is probably one of my favorite fabrics for spring pants, like an elastic waist, kind of wide leg or tapered leg, like the free range slacks. I have a pair that I wear all the time. Trousers, like the Mitchell trousers. So great choice for kind of spring pants and skirts as well. So kind of can use it for just about anything. So that's one of the new colors there. Now moving in kind of into the greens. This is one of the 100% linens that we've got. We've had kind of this fabric for a while. It's a really fine linen shirting. You can see it's got, this one hasn't been kind of washed, so it still has that like crispness and body, and then it'll soften up as you wash and wear it. So this one is digitally printed, so you kind of have all the colors and detail. This one's got kind of these cool daffodil flowers. So check out the little bit bigger picture there. And somebody is making a really pretty blouse out of this for the kind of our spring collaboration. So I can't wait to see that made up. I just love all the greens. It's so pretty to have like this wide range of greens, and then the pops of yellow and pink and a little bit of purple. Okay, moving into kind of the more true greens. Here is one more 100% linen. This one's a dead stock kind of designer find, yarn dyed stripe in a pretty kind of olive and like a vanilla-y creamy white. And this comes in an indigo as well, so like the blue and kind of creamy stripes. So these ones are an even stripe and about 1/4 inch wide. I think this one would be really fun to play with the stripe. Like if you did like the yoke or something cut like either on an angle or going the other direction, like kind of play with the stripe in your like a shirt or whatever project. It does have a little bit more coarseness to it. This one hasn't been kind of treated at all either, so it will soften up as you wash and wear it. Still kind of a finer woven linen, so not chunky at all. You can just feel the linen kind of variegated. You can see it a lot too, kind of the variations in the threads. Here is another one of the bamboo jersey prints. So this is kind of a cool geometric, kind of like a twist on a stripe a bit, or kind of a chevron, kind of a combination of any of those. So it's kind of that olive with black and then a creamy white background. And this comes in a blue as well, the olive swap for blue. So same drape and quite a bit of stretch, but just kind of a fun kind of print that reads more as a neutral, just with the creamy background. So kind of just a fun, more subtle print. Here is another kind of unusual knit. So this one is cotton, poly, and spandex. We've seen a lot of tops in ready-to-wear, kind of the more boutique level shops have like knit tees and cardigans made out of this fabric. So it's kind of a cross between, I don't know, like a jersey, a rib knit, and a double knit. So it has some thickness to it, but then it has this kind of cool, almost sheared, puckery, smocked kind of texture created in the knit. So it's got some variation, not just regular kind of ribs, but it has some unique texture to it. So good amount of stretch. And I love doing it this way with the whiter cream stripes with the narrower color. It comes in a black and cream as well, and then there's a kind of blue and white version also. So kind of a unique, would be a really cute, very like vintage looking t-shirt, like with a short sleeve, kind of more fitted with this kind of cool rib texture. Actually, it would be fun with our next fabric, do like a t-shirt and then a trouser in this guy. So this is the other version of our crinkle cotton. This is the bottom weight version. It's just a bit heavier, doesn't have kind of quite as much texture to it. And you can see it's quite a bit heavier. So great choice for pants if you want something that's a bit more structured, a bit more kind of stable. So and it comes in a bunch of kind of more darker, basic colors. We didn't go too bright on this one because it is going to be used more for pants. So we've got like this drab kind of olive color, and there's navy and black and camel and some pretty kind of darker purples. So a great choice. I would recommend maybe trying both of them and see which one you like, and maybe it's this one for kind of spring and fall, and then do the crinkle cotton for a couple pairs for kind of summer for lighter weight, because this one is a bit heavier. Here is another rayon twill. So very kind of subtle little twill weave there, very soft and drapey. This is one of my other favorite pieces. A lot of you know that I love the teals and greens, but I love this pop of like bright coral and the apricot, and even a little bit of like the periwinkles and stuff. Very cool, kind of sketchy floral. Kind of reads, I don't know, spring flowers, but also could almost border on a little bit tropical. So like a very cool, like a maxi shirt dress or like a maxi dress to take on a summer vacation, or if you're going like on a cruise or something, this would be really pretty. Another great piece for kind of tying into a capsule wardrobe, like do a blouse, and then you could have olive and the blue pants, and then, you know, have like a coral cardigan or something that would be a cool kind of piece to mix into that. This one is another kind of a designer find. This is a heavier, like Oxford shirting. Definitely, you can kind of see it. It definitely has more body to it than a lighter weight cotton shirting. You can even see it's, I've been handling it too much, so it's fraying a little bit. But you can see how like almost thick the threads are. So it's got kind of the white threads going one way, and then a brighter kind of green going the other way, and then the result is this kind of pretty jade sea glass green. So you could even do this in pants or something, or definitely shirts, especially like a spring men's shirt. And it comes in a purple as well, so it's kind of a light lavender when it's mixed with kind of the white. Here is another cotton jersey knit. So very kind of subtle pastel watercolory leaves. These kind of eucalyptus leaf prints always are very popular with our customers, so I think this will be a favorite. It is a little bit kind of more white with kind of all the shades of green and some a little bit more kind of bluey teals in there also. And again, same good kind of stretch, nice weight to it, not too light, not too heavy. Here is the other version of the Brussels washer. So we had that poppy red color that was one of the solids. This is the yarn dyed version. So this one has the white and kind of a sagey green thread going the other direction, giving it that kind of chambray look. There are some colors too that are like two colors, like there's a black and like a brown, and it creates kind of a taupe color. So there's kind of a variety of different colors, but same great weight linen and rayon blend that could be used kind of for anything. Next one is another kind of spring knit. This one is another French terry. This one's a little bit heavier, still not like a, sweatshirt fleece or something super heavy like cozy that you'd want for fall. In a really pretty kind of jade green color. So again, the kind of loops are pretty tight, but this one is a little bit thicker. Still has some good stretch, but not nearly as much as like a jersey knit or something. This would be pretty as like a knit pullover or hoodie, or even like a knit blazer with some cool top stitching or something. Would be nice to layer over. Even it would look really good like over that jersey knit. It's just a really nice green color, so you could kind of layer it over anything. And then here is another one of the organic cottons that I was talking about. We had the stripe earlier. Here's the gingham. So again, it's kind of got that, it's almost kind of like the same texture as our crinkle cotton. It's got a little bit of a kind of crinkly, creepy feel. It's been really kind of soft and washed. It's interesting, the ends of the bolts are like frayed, like it definitely has been like tumbled dry or stone washed or something. So it has that really kind of nice softness to it. And I love this kind of more traditional little gingham. And it comes in a few colors as well. Okay, I think we're about halfway. So here is another rayon woven, kind of a unique rayon woven. So rather than having like a crepe texture or twill texture, this one actually has like a jacquard animal print woven into the base fabric. So you can kind of see it there. And then kind of tie-dyed over the top. So the print in the background is really kind of subtle. It catches kind of in the light. But it does add a little bit more kind of body and structure to the rayon. But then it's got kind of this cool kind of tie-dye. I'll try to kind of show a little bit bigger piece all over, printed on top, and then it's got the kind of bright citron-y, lemon, key lime, green, that kind of sagey jade sea glass, and then kind of a brighter like azure, kind of a blue green blues. So yeah, really kind of fun, but yeah, very kind of soft and drapey. Would be another beautiful like a tunic or maxi dress or something, so that you kind of really get that, the effect of the kind of marble dye. Here is another rayon twill, kind of another pretty spring floral with that soft aqua background, and then the rich coral and peach. We're seeing a lot more rayon twills, I think, because they have a bit more body, a bit more weight, so they'll be a little bit easier to cut and sew. This one's kind of very kind of soft and silky, nice drape. And a good kind of mid-range print, not like the little ditzy ones, but not super big either. A little bit kind of that mid-range, which is really nice. And then it would mix well with lots of other colors. So I mentioned shirtings are very popular this spring. So here is kind of a more kind of traditional pinstripe. This one is a very kind of high thread count, closer to like what I would think of as like a good department store, like high-end men's shirt. So that, you know, really high thread count, but feels like almost like very lightweight, thin, but crisp and yeah, really nice. So a lot of these ones we found in designer kind of dead stock. But yeah, kind of a cool sagey green, kind of chambray look, which is fun. Kind of more subtle, soft. Next one is another kind of jersey French terry. So that kind of soft, tight, loopy back. But check out this cool spring print. All the tulips. So there's bigger kind of coral or peach and kind of apricot. Big tulips, and then a little bit smaller ones in the brighter pinks and corals. And then it's got, the background is really cool with all of the different shades of kind of aquas and greens. Nice stretch. So another good kind of spring hoodie or pullover. Just really pretty fun tulips. Here is another one of those kind of high thread count cotton shirtings. Very soft. You can kind of hear, you might be able to hear the crispness, just the way that, because it has such a like fine feel to it. And this is a really cute kind of tiny gingham. So I think it's like a 1/16 of an inch, so little tiny gingham. Just kind of fun. It almost reads as like a solid, and you wouldn't have to worry about matching any plaids because it's so subtle. Okay, here is another fun cotton jersey knit print. So we had this print last spring in another colorway. I think it was more green aqua, and this is a little bit more kind of blue turquoise. And then I love like this pop of like magenta and the bright coral. Just really kind of a fun combination of spring colors. So same kind of mid-weight cotton jersey that we love in just a fun spring print. This would be a really pretty kind of spring knit dress, or even just a basic t-shirt, you know, add like a pop of color. Sorry about all the threads. So here is another one of our basics. This is our soft washed linen. So this linen has been enzyme washed, so it has that kind of already worn in feel to it. Really nice for kind of any pattern as well. But this is my other favorite for like spring pants, spring and summer kind of pants and trousers. Another good piece for like a lightweight linen jacket to wear over things. It comes in lots of different colors, but then you could also do like a linen shirt or like a woven t-shirt or something like that. But yeah, it comes in a bazillion colors. I love this kind of dark saturated turquoise. Look how fun that looks. Do some pants and like a t-shirt in that guy. Nice combo. Okay. Here is another rayon twill. So let's see if you can kind of see. This is a kind of larger scale painterly floral, very watercolor. Yeah, it just looks like somebody painted the fabric. It's so pretty and very kind of vibrant. It's got the bright turquoise and then that gorgeous orange and pinks and yellows. Here's a bit more. But yeah, really pretty. Again, since it is a larger scale, you know, picking a pattern to really show off the fabric, maybe that doesn't cut it up, break it up too much, to really kind of show off this beautiful print. And here is one more, same base as that last one, rayon twill. This one's a really cool, almost like looks like a test palette or something for an artist testing out all the different colors. So it's kind of got a little bit of everything, and then the background's kind of that turquoisey blue, but you've got neutrals, pinks, a little bit of that buttery yellow. Here's another kind of little peek at some of the colors. So very cool, kind of combination of geometric and a stripe, and still being kind of very organic looking because of like the watercolor. Yeah, just a really, really cool piece. I think this would be fun, like flowy rayon pants or something like that. And then you can mix kind of any color top with it. Yeah. Okay, moving into the blues. We've got this really pretty kind of soft plaid linen shirting. Cool thing about this one is it's 100% Irish linen, which linen is a very traditional Irish fabric that they grow the flax and we process it and weave it. But we don't see a lot of Irish linen, I think because it's just gotten really expensive. So this was another designer dead stock find. So I think somebody just had leftover Irish linen from, you know, manufacturing or something. but really pretty kind of soft sky blue. Like I said, I think that's kind of the color of the season a little bit. It just seems like it's popping up kind of everywhere, and it just is so happy and, I don't know, tranquil or something. It's just a really nice blue. So this pairs it with kind of a softer white and then a dark kind of navy for a bit of contrast as well. So pretty soft for kind of 100% linen, but you can see it does still have some body to it, a bit of drape. Yeah, just a really nice color. And there's a couple other plaids as well in the Irish linen. This is another rayon crepe in a fun kind of paisley, fleur-de-lis kind of medallion tossed over this fabric. It does read a little bit more solid, but then has this kind of subtle pattern over it, kind of polka dot-esque, since they are like kind of evenly spaced, but really nice, soft and drapey, and just a really pretty kind of cornflowery blue. Yeah, really would be gorgeous, like spring dress. Here is another one of our cotton shirtings. This one has a kind of soft stripe to it, but if you look close, the stripe has a bit of texture to it, which is interesting. I think kind of almost gives it like a chambray look to it. I think it's just the way that it's woven. It's, again, that high thread count, very kind of silky hand, but has, you know, some body to it. So another kind of more menswear style cotton shirting. Here is another kind of lighter weight rayon woven. I actually think this one, it's another dead stock find. So sometimes we aren't 100% sure on the content. They said that it's all rayon, but I think it has a bit of cotton in it. It has, you can tell it has a more structure to it than like just a rayon. And it feels more like a cotton voile or something, but it has that softness of rayon. So I think it's a blend of cotton and rayon, but really pretty kind of Jacobean floral, kind of that tapestry floral look, with the bright kind of cerulean royal blue, but then this kind of slate gray blue as well, which is fun. So this one is, because there's so much white, there is a little bit of sheerness to it, so you may want to wear something underneath, or if you're going to do a dress, probably line part of it. Here is another one of those interlock stripes. So again, 100% organic cotton. So it's got good stretch. It has the recovery, but just not that snap that spandex would give. But yeah, really pretty kind of vibrant azure blue. So another linen blend, linen and rayon. Kind of has that linen feel, but a little bit more drape with the rayon. So, and I like the print is kind of a abstract, kind of botanical, but the printing, it's almost like distressed. So it's not a solid blue, it's kind of softer, which is kind of cool. I like that combination of the printing with the blue and the white contrast. This is another one I think would be a really cool like matching set like pants or a skirt and then some kind of woven top, and then you could mix it with, you know, another blue solid or other white, just for, you know, like some versatility. We are always on the hunt for kind of lighter blue denims. So they always are a customer favorite. But the bleached blues are hard to find. I think because they take regular denim and either bleach it, so they only get, you know, they make just as much as they need, because since there's so much more processing, it can make it a lot more expensive. So really hard to find, like in dead stock or super expensive. But we found a few new ones, which is exciting. So this is a 12-ounce kind of bleached denim, not super like light or light color, kind of just a shade darker. But 12 ounces, so a bit heavier if you were gonna do like a denim shirt or like a classic denim skirt. This is kind of the weight that I think of. And this comes in a white as well, so we'll see that in a little bit. It would still work for pants. It is 100% cotton, so no stretch, but it is heavier, so just keep that in mind. We try to have like a whole range of different weights of denim. So that's one of the new ones. Here is that other jersey knit solid that I mentioned. So this is our cotton and modal rayon and then spandex jersey knit. So nice stretch. It's got a bit more drape with the rayon. Really, really soft, which is nice. And this one comes in more earthy tones, sometimes a little bit more like not super saturated, more subtle colors, where the cotton jersey that we had earlier, this one comes in more vibrant colors. So yeah, I definitely, if you haven't sewn with these, I would recommend, if you need some new t-shirts, to get like one of each and see which one you like to sew and wear. If you have a preference or if you like both of them, then kind of go based on color. And both of these, we're kind of always adding and adjusting what colors we carry based on what's popular or what's available. So yeah, nice. But then like white and black are kind of always available, and navy I think are available in both. Okay, we've got another rayon twill. I love this print. It's kind of like mosaic tiles almost. They've got kind of this stone texture or watercolor. Some have kind of veining in them, which is cool. But yeah, definitely kind of almost like a geometric mosaic pattern to it. The squares are about kind of 2-inch to give you an idea. But yeah, that same kind of drape and softness. But if you're a blue fan, this kind of covers all the blues, kind of that slate gray blues to the kind of brighter sapphire, more sky blues. Yeah, just a very cool kind of blueprint. Okay, this is another favorite that we've had, I think last summer. We had this kind of fun, I think it's a pencil stripe, white or vanilla, and then the kind of bright color jersey knit. So cotton and spandex again. So this is the royal blue color. So we brought back a bunch of our favorite colors and then added a few more. So it sold out really quickly and we weren't able to get any more. Luckily we were able to get some more this year. Good stretch to it. But yeah, just a fun basic that would be great to have, you know, in your spring wardrobe, to change it up from a solid, kind of a fun, almost reads as white, but then it's got that fun pop of color. And again, it comes in a bunch of different colors. So you could even like mix a few of your favorites in one t-shirt, which would be kind of cool too. Okay, so here is another one of our new denims. So this is a kind of a more denim shirting. It's 4.2 ounces. So I think this might be our lightest weight denim to date. So you can definitely see it is more like a denim shirt weight. Very kind of soft and drapey. It's a little bit heavier than like one of those men's shirtings, but definitely, you know, a true shirting weight. And you can hardly see like the denim, the twill weave of the denim. Very soft, great choice for like a chambray kind of style button up or like shirt dress or something like that. Something where you want more kind of drape to it, instead of the kind of durability of a, you know, heavier denim. Here is another rayon woven, kind of a fun, again, kind of a mid-range print, not super tiny. I think the flowers are about like 3/4 of an inch or so. So kind of a rich navy background, so all our navy lovers. And then you've got the pink and kind of cranberry reds, but then the contrast of kind of apricot and kind of a natural cream color, and then the green and kind of citron, which is cool. Nice drape to it. Again, another good choice for kind of a spring blouse. A bow blouse would be really fun, or a spring dress. And here is another cotton shirting. Again, another kind of more modest plaid, like those bright kind of saturated colors. This one's kind of got a navy undertone to it and then mixed with the corals. And then I love with that kind of tealy green, blue green too, with the shades of coral and navy. Very kind of striking, colorful plaid. Okay, next one is another shirting that we have had before. So this is kind of like a shot cotton. So it's the two colors of threads. I think this is like kind of a turquoisey sky blue mixed with a plum purple. It gives it that kind of almost iridescent kind of look to it. We've had it in kind of a darker oceany color, and then we added a few new colors for spring. There's a rose pink, and then more of a lighter kind of skyish blue. But you can kind of see that iridescent effect, which is really cool with the kind of yarn dye, that cross woven in that high thread count shirting. Just gives it a really cool look. Yeah, really nice, kind of rich button up, or a shirt dress or something like that. Again, shirtings are very popular this spring, so I apologize for saying shirtings so much and button ups and shirt dresses, but it's the hot thing. Here is another rayon twill. So see if you can see. This one has a really soft kind of silky hand to it. And I just love all the kind of shades of periwinkly blue mixed with kind of a true like leaf green. Really pretty, like kind of abstract floral because it's more watercolory. Next one is kind of this crinkle slubby gauze. So it is like a single layer gauze. It isn't double layer, so it does can be a little bit more sheer, especially in the lighter colors. Like there's a white that is a little bit more sheer than some of these darker colors. And you can really see like that texture. So it has kind of that double gauze crepey texture to it, but it is just a single layer, but the threads are a little bit heavier. It just feels kind of really nice. Would be a great kind of tunic, or even like a kind of layering piece over something else, or like a cover up or something for kind of a vacation, spring and summer. And it comes in a few different colors. A gathered blouse would be really pretty too. I think it would show off kind of the gathers and the volume really well on like sleeves and stuff. Like kind of like the Olivia blouse or some of those blouses that we have. It's really pretty kind of periwinkly blue, kind of cornflower-ish color. And then there's a few other colors as well. We've carried this fabric in the past, so some new colors. We changed up the assortment. Here is another kind of rayon satin or satine. So it's a kind of regular rayon woven, but has that really, really silky finish. So you could use this as like a coat lining. It almost feels like silk. It's really kind of soft and, or even like spring pajamas or like a robe would be really nice. But then you can also do like a blouse or dress as well. But something that you might want a really pretty silk, but not the silk price. This would be a nice alternative. And I love this kind of bright poppy print. So it's got the reds and the yellows, but then that kind of orchid or lavender purple with the kind of more periwinkle. Yeah, so soft. Okay, here is another one of our staples. So this is our mid-weight cotton shirting. So we try to have this always in stock and in a ton of different colors. We're adding a couple new colors for this spring, including this kind of violet, periwinkly, bluey purple. It's a really nice kind of mid-weight. You can see it's got some body, it's got a good amount of drape. It just kind of ticks all the boxes. So it's the best kind of cotton shirting solid that we've found that we just really like kind of everything about it. So we try to always have it in stock in kind of white and cream and black and navy, and then change up kind of the colors to match the season, and yeah, try to have it always in stock. But yeah, a great choice for kind of any style of shirt, or to pair with other prints, like if you wanted some solid contrast or something. It's just a great basic. Here is another really cool kind of larger scale print. Again, this one has a bit of everything. So we've got all the purples and some creams and turquoise and royal blues and corals and fuchsia. I'll show you that flower actually is here. It's a really pretty kind of, I don't know what, it's one of those parrot tulips. So it's got really cool abstract kind of florals, tulips, kind of leaves, a little bit of everything in this kind of spring print. So it is another rayon twill. So it's got that nice kind of body and drape and softness. But yeah, just a really cool combination of kind of softer, more muted spring colors, but then those pops of bright, vibrant colors as well. So this one, I'm anxious to see what people make out of this one, because I think it'd be a really gorgeous, like, statement kind of spring dress or blouse or skirt. Skirt would be really pretty too, to really show off the print, let it shine. Here's one more color of that 100% organic cotton interlock. You can we've had the yellow, the kind of bright blue. This is a really kind of rich orchidy purple. But yeah, lots of great spring colors. Just really good purples this spring too. Kind of more bright and fun and cheery. So here is one more rayon twill. Kind of a big painterly abstract kind of floral, but the leaves are really pretty too. So, and it's got kind of very artsy, like with a spray and the painterly leaves. Again, same, soft drape and body. Here's a look at that side as well. But yeah, kind of all the shades of kind of pinky purple, lavender. Really nice. Okay, and here's one more color of that tencel or linen and tencel shirting. Just a really nice kind of medium purple. It would actually be really pretty kind of shirt or blouse, and then do this as a skirt with it. Kind of a fun combination. So you kind of get an idea of kind of the really pretty spring colors that this fabric comes in. So definitely check out, I think we got like 9 colors or something. We had a hard time narrowing it down to our favorites. Okay, now moving into the more neutrals, kind of naturals and then blacks. Here is another bamboo jersey knit. So similar weight to the solids and the other prints we've had, but just kind of a abstract, distressed kind of watercolor floral. You can kind of see it's not even like a full floral. They're just kind of floral shapes mixed in with the kind of painterly blotches. And then just, there is color, like it's got the rose and kind of plum and orchid or olive, but it's just very soft and kind of more muted. So it reads kind of more as a neutral earth tone, which is really pretty. Again, stretch and some nice drape to it. This would be a really pretty kind of wrap dress or like a wraparound knit top or something. Yeah, really, I like that combination of the more subtle neutrals. This is another one of the kind of slub texture linen blends. So you can kind of see the texture. So this is kind of a pinstripe, but it is printed. It isn't woven into the fabric. So a little bit different there, but it was just a kind of cool, basic, very subtle stripes with that more kind of oatmeal-y linen look, and then the pinstripe kind of printed over the top. This is the same fabric as that stripe. These would actually be kind of cool to mix together. So same base, that slub texture, linen blend, linen and rayon, but just a gorgeous kind of neutral watercolor leaf print in all the kind of shades of taupe and gray on that oatmeal-y natural linen look background. So if neutrals are your jam, this one is a beautiful choice. You could do like a dress, or I think this would be a gorgeous layering jacket, and then you could layer it over any of these color, like a knit t-shirt or tank top or something underneath, and then it would go with kind of any color trouser as well, pants or trousers. Here is another one of those kind of stitch texture sweater knits that we had that is like kind of a little bit plush, little thickness, really nice kind of oatmeal-y color. Look at like even that combination, like a top and a cardigan or something in this, really pretty together. But yeah, a nice basic knit cardigan that could go with just about anything in this nice kind of neutral color. I love the texture of this knit. It looks like it was hand knit. So if you aren't a knitter, get that kind of hand knit sweater look without all the work. Or probably a little bit less cost too. Yeah, a really pretty sweater knit. Okay, next one, this is a rayon poplin, so no kind of special texture to the weave on this one. Kind of a really cool abstract animal print. The background is really interesting. It almost looks like it kind of has these medallions, kind of brush strokes, kind of scratches. And then it's got these big kind of animal print silhouette over the top. Again, a really cool kind of neutral. It has some of those warmer, more camel color shades of brown, and then dark espresso with the white cream contrast is kind of cool. And somebody is making something up for our spring collaborations in this, so I'm excited to see how this print turns out. Yeah, really cool, unusual twist on an animal print. This next one is a heavier weight, kind of bottom weight. It's like an Oxford weave. The blend is a cotton and a little bit of linen. So it feels more kind of like a cotton, but it's just a really nice weight. It's a bit heavier. So definitely a great option for pants or like a blazer or jacket. This one's more of like a kind of chocolatey brown, which is really pretty. We'll see if you can kind of see. It has a bit of texture to it in the weave, and it definitely has some weight to it. So kind of a nice alternative to like a denim or something. It comes in a few different kind of more neutrals, a couple shades of green, a couple shades of brown, neutral colors. So yeah, you can find like some kind of like a jacket too would be really nice. Even like a denim jacket like that style, but in this fabric, or safari jacket or something like that. yeah, really unusual, nice heavier weight fabric. Oh, and I really like it with the next print, like do pants and a blouse or something. So this is a very cool rayon kind of satin shirting. It has that satiny finish to it. So when you just look at this fabric, it looks kind of like an animal print. So it's got kind of the spots and kind of a marble look to it, but it is a big flat floral. So the center of the flowers has these little, like the animal print spots. So if you're an animal print fan, this is kind of a fun twist on, another unique twist on an animal print. Or if you're more of a floral person, kind of step out on the wild side a little bit and kind of drift a little bit towards an animal print. Just kind of a really unique kind of combination of the two. So you can see kind of right there. Again, a little larger scale print, so I would pick something where it would really show off the print and the beautiful kind of drape and softness of this fabric. In the home stretch, I know, white on white. So here is that white denim that I mentioned. So this is the 10-ounce denim. Definitely probably the best choice we have for like white jeans. White denim is really hard to find it heavy enough where it doesn't matter what you wear underneath. And if you are a white jean fan, you know what I'm talking about. So this one is a great choice for like a denim jeans, or a white denim jacket would be really cool, a white denim skirt. So a 12-ounce white denim, white shorts too, denim shorts, great for summer. Here is another one of those crinkly knits with that kind of slubby or ribby, puckery texture. This is the black version. Yeah, very classic combination. I don't know, feels very, I don't know, 1950s, like Audrey Hepburn or something with like a black skinny pant or something like that. I don't know, that's what's coming to mind. It almost reads like a crochet knit as well. We've been seeing a ton of crochet look knits. So it kind of has that, I don't know, look or vibe, but being kind of more of a double knit, rib knit kind of thing. This is another kind of fun cotton jersey print. So kind of really cool striking leaf print in a rich black, but then it's got these big kind of paint splotches in all the different kind of bright spring colors. So kind of a nice, again, a mix of kind of two worlds, black and white with color. So it's a really kind of fun, striking print. So again, our normal kind of mid-weight jersey knit. But yeah, it's got aquas and pinks and yellows, a little bit of everything. Just a really fun, kind of cool print. This is another designer find. This is one of our Italian designer finds. Kind of a really kind of rich rayon crepe. So it doesn't have quite as much texture to it, but it still has a bit of that crepey feel, just not as noticeable. And really pretty poppy floral. Poppies must be the hot flower right now too. We ended up with lots of poppies and they came from all different places. So not like one designer said, oh yeah, we need to do poppies. But then it's kind of cool. It's got the centers of some of the flowers and then little accents on some of the petals and leaves is like that cobalt blue, which is kind of cool. So a nice little pop of color in a like basic black and white. So still a nice drape to it. Okay, so here's another linen and rayon blend in kind of a more graphic, almost animal printish, larger scale print. And then it's got little subtle accents of kind of a violet bluey purple, which is kind of cool. So again, black and white or black and cream with just a little pop of color, just to add a little interest. So this would be another good choice for like a layering, a light layering jacket that you could wear with like neutral or black pants. Really pop up the color. We could help you find like a kind of a matching violet solid to wear as like a top underneath that really kind of pop that color up. But yeah, kind of big, almost animal print-ish, but very abstract. Here is another kind of more bottom weight cotton sateen, so a little bit heavier. It's got some stretch to it, so cotton and spandex. Kind of really pretty subtle floral outline. Another great choice for like a tapered spring pants or dress. It would also make a beautiful kind of jacket that you could wear over, or anything and mix with other black and whites. Yeah, really pretty, kind of more subtle floral with just like the fine outlines of the leaves and the flowers. One more rayon woven, just a very classic little polka dot. We love a scatter dot. It always is a favorite from customers, especially when it's not like a perfect regular polka dot, a little bit more scattered. Just a really kind of cute, I don't know, the black and whites this spring are very timeless, very, classic. Yeah, very sweet. Tiny little dot. I think they're like 1/8 of an inch, so little guys. And last but not least is one more color of that rib sweater knit. So this is the black. Let's see if we can, there you can see kind of those little groupings of little tiny ribbies. So if you need like just a basic black cardigan, this is a great choice. Very soft, not too lightweight, has some nice body, and yeah, really soft, and would be a nice piece like on the cooler summer day or spring days, or even into summer on the cooler like summer nights. Nice choice. And we did it. We made it through all the fabrics. That was a lot of different fabrics. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review of some of our new fabrics for spring. That wasn't all of them. As I mentioned, there's quite a few other colors of some of the different fabrics. So if you search the SKU of one of them, it'll bring up little color dots of all the other options available. So definitely check those out. We've got lots of exciting things planned to kick off spring. We've got some great collaborations coming up. I mentioned a few of them, so watch for those in our email newsletter and on social media. They'll be posted on Instagram and Facebook.
over the next 2 weeks to kick off our spring launch. We've got $5 US shipping and discounted international shipping. So definitely take advantage of that if there were some of the fabrics that you'd like to get for yourself for your spring sewing. I think that's about it. We'd love to hear in the comments if you had any favorites or what you're excited to sew up for spring. So definitely let us know, and we'll be back soon for more spring fabric videos. Thanks so much.